Welcome to the Sankofa Ancestor Shrine, where every week we invite spiritual Black folk to reconnect with our ancestors as we journey through the crossroads. Please consider donating through patreon.com/Sankofa Shrine. Ancestors, we are thankful for your presence on our altars and in our lives. And this week, we ask that you help assist us in our words being more sacred, in our thought process being more calm and refined and less stressed, so that we can be optimal in our health during this tumultuous time. Please help us to remember the remedies and health knowledge that we have gained over the years to boost our own immune systems and help prepare us and put us in a place of health and wellness in our communities, homes, and lives. Protect us and our families and loved ones. Ashe. Alright, so for our sacred movement today, we are going to be doing just some basic stretching yoga, very beginner, very light, but really releasing of the different joints and, the body in general. But I did want to do a fire breathing session before. If you've been reading the description box, I've mentioned it a few times, but have forgotten to add it into the video a few times. So I do want us to keep with that. It's still, close to the beginning of the year, so we can still keep on with that. It's not time to say it fell off or we fell off from it yet. So I'm gonna try and keep the time on here and do this every 50, give it a tap every 50 fire breaths. And we're just going to stick with 200. If you feel lightheaded, always stop. This isn't a marathon. You're building strength in your lungs. So, if you haven't done this before or you find it really difficult to keep up, just stop, do some regular breathing, steady breathing, bring yourself back. Fire breathing really brings the oxygen in, helps you connect spiritually, helps build the lungs, strengthens the lungs up a lot, which right now is something that a lot of people, I'm sure, would be interested in doing, just to help build up your own body to be able to be at its most healthy and most optimal, just in case during, these pandemic times, these sickness times. So we're going to breathe in, our belly goes out, we breathe out, our belly goes in.
in speaking. Hekau. May my words be anointed. May my words not damage a soul. Divine Mother, assist me divine Creator, assist me in speaking. Hekau. May my words be anointed. May my words not damage a soul. Divine Mother, assist me in speaking. Words of power, words that heal, words that transform. If my words show me to be out of divine right order, may my mind and my mouth be cleansed.
Hello, thank you for joining me today. I wanted to give a kind of candid talk today, still kind of on the subject of our lives and the situations we're in, involving the pandemic and quarantine, which I'm sure so many people are just kind of tired of hearing about. However, I watched a live by Queen Afua either today or yesterday, depending on when I upload this. And it was really wonderful. It had a guest, I want to say her name was Kepe Ra, and she was talking about how the work is easy, or she talked about a lot of things, but one of the things she said was how the work is easy when nothing's going wrong, right? It's easy to drink your herbal teas and have your crystals and kind of just do your thing when everybody around you is basically healthy. You just kind of have that occasional person, a family member, friend, client, what have you, that needs healing, needs that healing touch. But then now we're in this situation where everybody kind of needs the healing touch. We're not sure who needs it sometimes. We're losing people rapidly. There's going to be needing to heal from that, from this immense loss that our communities are going to feel, that entire families. I know families are getting affected because, that's who you live with in close quarters. And so there's this immense need for healing. There's so much fear all around us. And so with these high energies all around us, it can be very easy to get sucked in, especially if you're somebody who's very empathetic or in some way sensitive to other people's feelings and emotions. And you're somebody who can really put yourself into other people's situation, or just by being in vicinity of other people, it automatically, a process starts where you kind of get sucked in. So taking that time to really put in that spiritual work with ourselves, as well as the physical cleaning work with ourselves, is going to be very important during this time of illness in the communities, and it's airborne. There's just fear all around us. And then there's also anger and frustration from lack of adequate response from those in charge. Many are feeling, left behind. So this is a time when a lot of people can start to feel hopeless and stuck and sucked into a rut. But she reminded us that, this is the time more than ever for you to pull out your healing remedies, for you to pull out your Sacred Woman book, or your Man Heal Thyself, or any of the other many multitude of books. I have my womb healing workbooks. I know there's a book called Pussy Prayers, where I think that one might have some kind of, information like that. I know that there are so many books by different teachers. There's so many podcasts and, different daily videos and blogs and Instagram pages. Like there's so much healing being out there. It's not just about, if you pray, you'll get the coronavirus away, because the prayer isn't really that the work that you should be doing in the physical realm to help with all of this, right? So you can be doing things that boost your immune system, that keep your body healthy during this time. And recall that stress and fear and things like that do leave you more susceptible to illness than you normally would. There are times where I have to remind myself, like, not recently, thankfully, I've been able to remain pretty calm throughout all of this. But, in my past, I've had to remind myself about stress. Like, girl, you're killing yourself. You're just sitting here and your heart hurts and you're just worrying. And that shaves off years, that leaves you vulnerable. That leaves your body. You've been putting so much energy into something that doesn't really matter, or like a fight or flight that doesn't really apply to this situation. And it can absolutely leave you more vulnerable. So finding those ways that gives you real inner peace, that gives you that sense of, you know, wellness in your body as best as you can maintain it during these times is so vitally important. So if you are looking for something to just listen to while you're at home, definitely check her video out. I didn't agree with some of the stuff that was said, but most of it I thought was very, educational and wonderful to listen to, especially when she also had a bit where she was talking about breathing, the lungs, sacred words. They also, used, and that part was like strengthening the lungs, strengthening the airways, strengthening the wellness of energy that is going into your lungs and your airways, is another just a very practical way to continue to make sure you're at your best, come what may. And then they also utilize their breath of life, which I've told you before is Queen Afua's Breath of Life product is my absolute favorite product that she sells. It is a wonder product. It's like a minty, essential oily, type of thing in a dropper, and you drop a few drops on your tongue and it just opens up your nose, opens up your throat, your lungs. It makes me feel so good to put it on my tongue, like in the mornings when I do my prayers, and just it just makes my whole brain feel alive. And then when you're ill, you can put it in your tea, or you can just drink it, put a little on your tongue as well again, or put in your water. And again, it will help just open up those airways in those times when you think your nose will like never open again. So they were using that, and I was like, that is another really good one for this time period where people are really struggling, and they're being told to, just go home and, wait it out. So if you're looking for something to really help make your breathing airways feel more revitalized, I do think that would be a really nice product to invest in. But I'm not sure if you'd even get it in time, to be honest. And that's like one of those things that you'd have to kind of want was already in your house. I was definitely, when I saw it, I was like, oh, I wish that was in my house right now. I don't have like any symptoms of anything, but I still would I always enjoy having that in the house, especially because I have allergies. So it always comes in handy. At any rate, that is enough about that part in particular, but I did want to read just a tiny portion out of The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, The Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing by Marie Kondo. You know that she was a Shinto priestess, so everything that she talks about in this book comes from a very spiritual perspective that I think could be utilized by anybody interested in sacred space. And since we're at home, a lot of us right now, I was thinking, what's not a better time to declutter, to clean up. I've been trying to deep clean my house, get into all those little creases on the stove, and washed the walls. I had to redo my bathroom because randomly my shower clogged up, y'all. It was, don't you hate it when you're like, you got all these plans to do and then your house is like, no, we got to do all these other things. Well, anyways, this thing that I'm about to read to you is actually called Do You Greet Your House? This part. And I thought this would be a great follow-up from last time when, not last time we talked Mules and Men, but the time before that, I believe, we talked about greeting your city and talking to your city, coming to understand your city's energy, right? Because your city is still nature, right? I mean, the urban setting is very different from the wilderness setting, of course, but you know, as Indigenous people, we can still connect with our city, and we do connect with our cities on deeper, profound levels. We do still connect with the land. The land is still there, city or no city, and so you know, taking that even further to talking with your home, I think, you know, is such an intimate thing to do. And a lot of people find themselves just kind of running in and out of the home all the time. So it's very different for them to just kind of sit in the home and enjoy their space there. And a lot of people are like, I'm going crazy. I'm like, how? There's so much to do here. The house is always looking for some attention. So if you have the book, I'm on page 188. The section is titled, Do You Greet Your House? The first thing I do when I visit a client's home is to greet their house. I kneel formally on the floor in the center of the house and address the house in my mind. After giving a brief self-introduction, including my name, address, and occupation, I ask for help in creating a space where the family can enjoy a happier life. Then I bow. It is a silent ritual that only takes about 2 minutes, but it does elicit some strange looks from my clients. I began this custom quite naturally based on the etiquette of worshiping at Shinto shrines. I don't remember exactly when I started doing it, but I believe I was inspired to do so because the tense expectancy in the air when a client opens the door resembles the atmosphere when one passes under a shrine gate and enters the sacred precincts. You may think that this ritual could only have a placebo effect, but I have noticed a real difference in the speed with which tidying occurs when I perform it. So I really loved how she said that air of expectancy reminded her of the shrine of a sacred spiritual place, which is what sacred space is all about, which is what that concept that Queen Afua was trying to teach was all about. And we're supposed to always have that in mind. We're supposed to always have it within our hearts, but it can often be difficult to see the home in that way. There are many times where my brain just starts to feel like only certain parts of the house are sacred, when in reality, it's the entirety of the living situation. It's the entirety of the space enveloping us. It's each of the things that I've chosen to keep in the home and utilize for the family, and we enjoy, and it carries us onward. But this part I actually had almost forgotten many times. So it's always, it's one of the more important parts of what she does when she's doing this tidying up. But it can be so easy to forget such a simple step. And it's actually my children who remember to greet the house, to say goodbye to the house when we leave. They always do. They always are like, goodbye house, see you soon. And I'll be like, oh yeah, goodbye, love you. But I always forget. But it's wonderful that I have this reminder in them to continue to cherish the home, because I do think it's such an important step, and it really is a way to calm your mind and to connect with the energy of the home and make sure you both are on the same page. And you are, your home, when you pay attention to it and you care for it, your home is happy to be there for you and with you, right? Incidentally, I don't wear sweats or work clothes when I tidy. Instead, I usually wear a dress and a blazer. I'm pretty sure I've shown you all. I have like a purple apron with like lace that was sewn on it. I ended up getting that from wish.com. I ordered once on there just to kind of like see what it was. I ordered a huge amount of stuff. So for like 5 months. After like 2 months, for like 5 months, there was just like random little packages coming in. And the best thing by far that I ordered was my apron. It was a very pretty, but very simple, and it kind of goes with everything. I always wear my pretty clothes. It's like a way of honoring your house and yourself, because you're dressing yourself while you know you're not leaving the house, right? So you're still dressing yourself, making yourself beautiful, handsome, smelling good, to go care for your home environment. Although occasionally I don an apron, my priority is on design over practicality. I would say that was me too, but luckily mine is very practical and very pretty. Some clients are surprised and worried that I might ruin my clothes, but I have no trouble moving furniture, climbing onto kitchen counters, and doing the other active work involved in tidying while all dressed up. This is my way of showing respect for the house and its contents. I believe that tidying is a celebration, a special send-off for those things that will be departing from the house, and therefore I dress accordingly. I'm confident that when I show respect by the clothes I choose to wear and begin the work of tidying by greeting the house, it will in turn be happy to tell me what the family no longer needs and where to put the things remaining so that the family can be comfortable and happy in this space. This attitude speeds up decision making at the storage stage and eliminates doubt from the entire tidying process so that everything flows more smoothly. Perhaps you don't believe that you could do this. Perhaps you think you have to be a professional like me to hear what the house has to say. In fact, however, the owners understand their possessions and their house the best. As we progress through the lessons, my clients begin to see clearly what they need to discard and where things naturally belong, and the tidying work proceeds smoothly and speedily. There is one fail-proof strategy to quickly hone your sense of what you need and where things belong. Greet your house every time you come home. This is the first homework assignment I give my clients at my private lessons. Just as you would greet your family or your pet, say, "Hello, I'm home," to your house whenever you return. If you forget when you walk in the door, then later when you remember, say, "Thank you for giving me shelter." So that part I really love, because it's not like, dang it, blah, I hate myself. It's just like when you remember, say it. When you remember, believe it, pray it out loud, or just pray it to yourself. If your space is only a room, be grateful for the room. Greet your room when you come back. Maybe have a special candle you light every time you come home that can set this ritual up, and that smell kind of just starts to bring you into that warm coziness, and you create that bond and that ritual with your home. This home in particular has been my favorite by far of all the homes that I have rented before. It just had this energy in it, like it just wants to have people in it. And it was tired of being so dirty and cobwebbed, and I felt it. And we had a lot of fun as I cleaned up this house and just kind of got rid of some stuff that was just clogging up the energy up in here that didn't need to be kicking around and getting dusty. And so, finding that connection with your home and really enjoying it for what it is such a powerful tool and also practice. And like she said, making this a daily practice is really how you can begin to build that relationship with your home environment and understand what sacred steps you need to take to help, make things more cohesive throughout your home, whatever those things might be. Let's see. She says, if you feel shy or embarrassed to say these things out loud, it is fine to say them silently in your mind. If you do this repeatedly, you will start to feel your house respond when you come home. You will sense its pleasure passing through like a gentle breeze. Then you will gradually be able to feel where it would like you to tidy and where it would like you to put things. Carry on a dialogue with your home while tidying. I know this sounds totally impractical and fantastic, but if you ignore this step, you will find that the job goes less smoothly. In essence, tidying ought to be the act of restoring balance among people, their possessions, and the house they live in. Conventional approaches to tidying, however, tend to focus solely on the relationship between people and the belongings and don't really pay attention to the dwelling. I, however, am very conscious of the important role the house plays because whenever I visit a client's home, I can feel how much it cherishes its inhabitants. It is always there, waiting for my clients to return and standing ready to shelter and protect them. No matter how exhausted they are after a long day's work, it is there to refresh and to heal them. When they don't feel like working and wander around the house in their birthday suit, the home accepts them just as they are. You won't find anyone more generous or welcoming than this. Tidying is our opportunity to express our appreciation to our home for all it does for us. To test my theory, try putting your house in order from the perspective of what would make it happy. You will be surprised at how smoothly the decision-making process goes. So this is my thoughts for you this week, and as this time moves on, I'm not sure how long people are going to be asked to stay in their homes, but finding that way to build the connection with your home, to build the connection with your belongings and with your situation, while also trying to find ways to maintain your own health, maintain your sense of wellness and sense of faith and relaxation as best you can, not panicking or getting too worked up and in a state where you're more susceptible to diseases. I think that is really hard and a lot of stuff to practice on this week. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave you with that message. But I did think that, thinking about the home, thinking about being in the home, I had been wanting to talk about that just because I had been seeing so much commentary and comment sections all over YouTube just about people. I'm going crazy. I don't know what to do. I've seen celebrities. Y'all, these people got mansions, indoor pools, indoor gyms, indoor cinemas, and they're bored. They're bored, and they're on their live streams talking about how bored they are. Oh goodness, it's a mess. But I'm like, talk to your house. Greet your house and say hello and connect with it in a way that you haven't been able to when you're super busy running in and out of the house all the time. All right, until next time, next week, may your ancestors and spirit guides be with you at every crossroads.